Hey guys, it's Taco Tully here. Welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm joined by my best friend, Johnny Van Frank. Johnny, what's going on? I haven't seen you forever, man.
The hell did you just call me?
Johnny Van Frank, my best friend.
All right. Good to see you. How was your
How's the
WrestleMania
family?
weekend?
It was awesome. So I spent it up in Vancouver with Junior and Ray Ray. Cool, Chris, Calvin, Todd. Other Chris wasn't there, but it's cool. What'd you do?
Probably one of the better WrestleManias I've seen. Probably the best one since I'd say WrestleMania 11. It was a classic.
We have very different tastes, but that's okay. Anyway, guys, welcome to the Taco Meat Tuesday edition of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. As always, make sure that you are following the Main Event Wrestling Network, and welcome to Ryan Matthews, the newest member of the crew. He will be creating TikTok content for the channel, so I know that Mr. Cincinnati and the podcast dad cannot wait to collaborate with you. We've also got two great interviews coming up. It sounds like Mr. Cincinnati and the podcast dad interviewed Shaw Mason and Vogan, and those will be dropping on Friday. Another one of the AR Fox members of that wrestling tree. So super excited to check that out. But other than that, Action Wrestling, Mustafa Ali, Landon Hale. Tickets are available now, April 26th. The Wrestling Junkies will be there. Are you going?
I am not. No.
Oh, you're no fun.
Johnny will be in Florida.
Doing what? What could
Getting
be
the
so
tan.
important? Anyway, Raw After WrestleMania is in the books. The Paul Levesque era has begun. What'd you think? Start us off, man. It's always good to hear your voice.
Excuse me. Yeah, that was the first segment. Good Lord, that went long.
Yeah.
Like way too long, right? Right? That was too long.
Yeah,
Johnny,
that was
trust me, Johnny likes long segments, but that went too long.
long segments, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Television. I'm in the television business, so you should know.
Fair. Like, this was 20 minutes too long. I think is that about the consensus number, would you say?
Probably a half hour too long, yes.
Yeah. And, I mean, not all of that is because of The Rock or Triple H or Cody Rhodes. We know how the Raw after WrestleMania crowd is, and there were some moments where they were hijacking The Rock as he's getting ready to talk, and that's a tribute or a credit to what The Rock has done as a heel since he's embraced this final boss character. But I also love the psychology of Cody just holding up the championship just to get them to start cheering and to kind of ease out the shut the F ups and everything else they were trying to say. So he is kind of bringing them back into the moment, and it's just one of those little psychological touches I noticed.
I got a hot take here, and I hope you're ready for it.
Okay.
Do you have your tacos
I like my takes
ready?
like my yeah, they're ready. No, they're not.
Okay. I understand the victory lap that we are getting from Triple H. I don't want him on my TV anymore.
It's fair.
I'm tired of the Paul Levesque new era. Like, stop saying it. I get it. You're starting to drive it down my throat. I get it. It's a new era, all that good stuff. I didn't need a segment last night. I didn't need him on TV last night. I didn't.
Sure.
You could have had Cody come out. You could have played the video package before, have Cody come out. Boom, Rock segment. There you go. You cut 10 minutes right there. I don't get me wrong. Me and Paul have had some crazy nights. I love Papa H. But man,
he's as straight as you see him. Okay.
Take the background away. Like get back in the back. Like, this is, you want to convey a new era? Get off TV, because the old person that did this was always on TV. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it from this standpoint of just because it was one night after WrestleMania. I don't think they're going back into the authority figure or any of that.
I hope not.
Anymore.
We don't need that. I hope not. We don't need it. We saw the 3 GMs, so that is good news. You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
Where the hell's my tie? Bill, you let me go on camera without a tie?
Does he do everything for you? Hi, Bill.
Yes. Bill is my secretary, yes.
How does bracket turn out?
Whose?
Bill's. How does bracket turn out?
You know, We
Hope you
really
covered the
like
spread.
Duquesne, and Duquesne got us a big win on night one, but much like Roman Reigns, failed to deliver in the big time moment.
Womp womp. Hate to
It was
hear
a
it.
good joke. You just didn't like it.
Not your best.
Not better than anything you've said on this show.
I don't know about all that.
You don't even have tacos today.
Yeah, so
What's happening? I don't have a tie. You don't have tacos. We are in a new era, folks.
I was also told not to eat while I was on the air, so sorry.
Yeah, you can
look at
turn
me
your camera
following
off.
my edicts from the network. You know what?
Also, and speaking of the network, what's on your hat there? What is that? Tell the audience what that is.
I think anybody can clearly see it says Bengals right there.
Okay. If you want a really cool hat, go to our merch store and buy a Wrestling Junkies hat instead of wearing that god-awful Bengals hat.
I am glad that you went somewhere with that because I was about a half second away from doing this, but he's absolutely right. You should buy a hat, a t-shirt, a mug. We got beanies coming soon, a couple of new t-shirt designs, but had he been a little bit nicer about the hat that I'm wearing now, then he wouldn't be on timeout. What did we learn?
Does not do you well. That's what I just learned. Man, you look good with me next to you.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Oh, you're not. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, all right. Anyway, let's talk about this.
Look, you can't even get through it. And they trust you to host, and you can't even get through it.
You want to turn? You want? Okay, you're the host.
I will.
You're the host.
Turn. Last night we saw was it the Raw debut of Ilya Dragunov taking on a Shinsuke Nakamura? Yes. My goodness, Shinsuke, how far you have fallen. But
you want to know what I said the second the Shinsuke's music hit?
What was that?
I hope this is the start of something he can sink his teeth into and that he gets a win tonight.
Well, exactly he sunk his teeth into an elbow from the H-bomb. So Ilya Dragunov with a debut. I think this was a get the crowd familiar with who Ilya is because I assume he's going to be drafted to one of these shows in the next in a couple weeks. I think it's the Friday, not before Backlash, but then Friday and then the Monday of Backlash week. So they're doing this pretty quickly.
They are, as they should.
Sorry, I don't have dates in front of me. Bill letting me down.
Well, I have them April 26th and April 29th. That's why I'm the host, is because I have my notes ready.
Where will the Wrestling Junkies be?
Wrestling Junkies will be in Tyrone, Georgia for Mustafa Ali versus Landon Hale. Tickets available now. And TNA, if somebody from TNA is watching this, any thoughts on making this for the X Division title?
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
The worst they can say is no.
That's the good thing about the X Division is there are no weight limits.
Yeah.
Because there are no limits.
Yeah.
Hey, TNA, I'm doing it for you. Listen, I could be your next spokesperson. I can't even say that. Can't even say it.
Yeah. Well, maybe say
this
it right
coffee.
first.
Bill, what'd you put in the coffee? Man, this guy is on fire today, isn't he?
So let me ask you this. Ilya is going to be declaring for the draft. What show do you think he ends up on?
SmackDown.
Okay. I imagine you think that Gunther ends up over there too?
Correct.
Okay. I like the way you think.
I think Raw is still looked at as the main show, and I think you want to start some of the talents over there. I think if an Ilya goes to a SmackDown, maybe because the weird thing too is I heard it today on TikTok. Yes, Johnny's on TikTok. Come see me. I don't have a handle yet, but one of the cool things, or not one of the cool things, one of the questioning things that I have is everybody that, how they just went through the recent contract negotiations with like Braun and Andrade and Jade. They're all available for the draft, right?
So it's funny you say that because Sean Ross Sapp pointed that same thing out in a tweet earlier today that, Braun and Jade have already signed to these shows. But, at least the way that segment went last night, Aldis, sort of intimated that he might be, but might be eligible for the draft. So it is a bit odd to do, especially when you had Jade Cargill going to all three shows.
Months.
There is no, they could have, at the very least for Jade, they could have waited until the draft to have her make her decision and hyped up that, the draft is coming after WrestleMania and before Backlash, and that's when we'll have an idea to kickstart this new era. And we're going to keep saying that phrase a lot over the next few months, I'm sure. But at least with Jade, that's one they could have waited on. They could have still given her that lore. She could have still seen, she could have still seen the landscape of SmackDown, decided, I want a team with Bianca and Naomi. And you still get there, but you don't have to say, hey, she's exclusive to this show yet if you knew that the draft was coming. So
realistically, all the NXT talents, like Braun, he's had a couple matches on SmackDown. Carmelo's had a couple. Tiffany, Tiffany didn't really need. She didn't need to be drafted.
I'm surprised they didn't find anything for her to do at Mania, even though she wasn't, in the ring. There's still, I feel like they still could have found something for her.
She had her slammy moment. She won breakout NXT star.
I mean, that's great, but
she's got a future. Don't worry, she's got a future.
I'm not saying she doesn't.
I don't want to shoehorn her. John, what is in this?
What's up with you today?
What is in this coffee?
You're not when you're hungry. Chef,
Johnny's well fed.
I thought about sending you a taco crate today, and
a what?
I don't know, a taco crate.
You talking dirty to me?
Yeah, they got all kinds. I mean, you can get beef. You can do chicken. You can do carnitas. That's pork.
Why wouldn't you just say pork?
Brisket.
Why wouldn't you just say pork?
Because that's what it's called.
Why wouldn't you just call it a pork taco though?
Because
that's my question. You said everything. You said everything else in English, but you want to say that one in Spanish. Tell me why you wouldn't just say pork. But you just said it. You just clarified for me. So why wouldn't you say it in English anyway?
Because it's affectionately referred to as carnitas. What's the problem with that?
Why didn't you call chicken pollo?
I guess I could have. You
could have. You're trying to be a smart ass, and I don't like it.
What's wrong with you today?
What's wrong with me? You're the one. You're the one
yelling. You're the one yelling. Relax, Angry Slacks. Okay, look.
I'm not
can we get back to wrestling, please? Well, okay. You're raising your voice and
inside
voice.
So John. We had a great segment with the Judgment Day. When Damian Priest gets his moment, great. Did you know he sings his theme song?
I did hear his voice.
His new one? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Also know he's also got a new contract and he's signed with Paradigm Talent Agency. See, I can do it too.
Cool, great. I'm happy for you. But
should be happy for him. He had a big day.
We had the moment. We had the speech, and then R-Truth shows up. And R-Truth, why weren't we doing this the whole build to WrestleMania? Like, why wasn't this still a thing?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Because this was great. It was one of the better things of the night. He comes out. He gets his pop. Then we have an impromptu handicap match because we can't see the other partner. And then John Cena comes out for a nice little cameo. Didn't do much. That's okay.
No.
I think the podcast dad tweeted. I know. That's weird, right? The podcast dad tweeted at Kyle. I think it's Galagalani on Twitter, and said he was shocked to see The Miz give a hot tag to John Cena. Which, you would have told me that, I'd have told you you're stupid. That would have never happened.
2024.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So they get the big win. Judgment Day looks like chumps like they always do, even though they have two big title holders. But a nice feel-good moment. Where do you see the tag team division going with these champions? Are we going to get just comedy, or are we going to start getting some seriousness?
I mean, as long as Triple H is still in charge, these tag team titles will be taken. The matches will be taken seriously. I think that what is?
Oh man, down the wrong.
What the hell is wrong with you today? So.
Oh man, that one went down the wrong pipe. Woo! Johnny almost died.
Are you okay? All right.
You know CPR?
So, yeah.
Good. Hard to do over screen, but yeah. Go ahead.
So, tag team matches, I mean, they're going to be serious. I mean, they care about tag team wrestling again. I think that we are still going to get some of this odd couple comedy aspect. And this is one of those things where, I don't necessarily see Awesome Truth holding these, having like a lengthy run. Maybe I'm going to say 45 to 60 days. Let's get through. Let's get through Backlash. We'll see what happens in Saudi. But this is one of the things where, with Miz, the face turner is always refreshing, but he's much better as a heel. So this is an easy built-in way to break these guys up. R-Truth is the Swiss Army knife that he will inject comedy into about any storyline that you would like him to, and then they'll find something else for him. The faction wars are back. He'll find a way to, he'll find something else to do. Miz has always worked better as a heel. The face run helps to kind of keep things from getting too stale when it's executed properly, and this is one of those moments. So, yeah, I think this is one of those things where they're just kind of laying the groundwork for another team to take the titles. Miz is going to turn on Truth. World goes back to normal. I have a question for you, though. So
I might have an answer.
Okay. So Judgment Day, some of them are being cheered by the crowd. Others are not. I mean, even as they all five were making their entrance to the arena in that pre-tape, generally cheers for them. Finn knows how to get the crowd back, to boo them. Dom can't do anything without, having them just kind of drown him out. But how would you break off this group of Judgment Day, knowing that they have the two top champions on the show and they're over like Rover right now?
Priest goes on his own. Rhea goes on her own. Damian goes with Andrade or Legado or whoever wants to take him under their wing for the next couple. Thank you for somebody for caring. And I think you could
look a lot alike, you know that?
I don't know. My hair's much better. I think. Let me pat that down. I think. Oh, still going on. I think. Sorry about that. You could have JD and Finn break off into a tag team. You have that mentor-mentee kind of aspect where eventually you could get a feud out of it. So I think you take Damian away. He doesn't really need the Judgment Day anymore. I think he feels like he's big enough to be able to hold on his own. Drew made a pretty good comment about him. So it kind of seems like maybe the Judgment Day era is kind of over for Damian. He came out, if you notice, when he came out last night, everybody else was in black. He was not.
That's true.
I had a sneaking suspicion that maybe tonight was the night that he would get turned on, but I think they're going to slow burn that a little bit more.
Yeah, because it would have happened right where that Truth spot came in, I think. Yeah.
Well, I thought they were going to do something like they did, if you remember, when they kicked Edge out. That was also the night after WrestleMania.
True. Yeah.
So something that they could have. I don't think it was night after WrestleMania. I apologize, but something similar to that. But I think in the long run, you want to keep doing the slow burn. I think you could get a little bit more out of Judgment Day. But Priest and Rhea are the clear baby faces in the group. The other three, I don't think that you're gonna get those three cheered anytime soon.
Yeah.
Although they're trying hard to get Rhea booed with this next feud.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I want to transition into. Not necessarily the fact that it's Liv that's the first challenger, but I absolutely loved what they did from a production standpoint. The straight shot of Rhea and Dom coming across, they split ways. Chair just comes from off screen. Panda Liv, sneak attack, jumps her, and then Dom's camera, shoos it out of there, and it goes right down the tunnel, back out to the arena as they're getting ready to start that next match. Just from a transition standpoint,
really cool.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and your cool production moment of the night. That was cool.
Yeah,
we seem to get one of those at least every week now.
Yeah. Real quick before we talk about the main event, Candice LeRae, interesting little friction she's got here going with Indy Hartwell. What do you think of how they're trying to present her as this disappointing teacher?
That eventually Indy will see, the light and turn heel. They need a heel tag team. I mean, they have the Kabuki Warriors, and that's about it. Give me these two as a heel tag team. They feel like a credible threat. They do much better as a heel group anyway. Yeah. At least these two. Like, go look at their NXT work. They were much better as heels than they are faces.
Yeah.
And you need more heels in the division. So,
yeah.
Again, another little bit of a slow burn, but I think that heel turn's coming. They've gotten TV time over the last couple weeks to set this up.
Yeah. Main event sees Ricochet. Main event Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, and Big Bronson Reed hold on here, because I definitely have some stuff to say about this. The more
You know what?
competitive
Here we
match.
go. Here we go. I'm going to mute my mic. You're going to go.
Okay, so I can if this were still Drew McIntyre as World Heavyweight Champion, I'd probably agree with you. But the fact that this is Damian Priest, they're already trying something new and trying to see what they have on their hands with a star that, while yes, there's some popularity, they don't necessarily know what he's going to do in the main event. At least Jey Uso has that bloodline story under his belt. While this hasn't been the greatest singles run, he's still coming off of the WrestleMania win, had some huge involvement in helping Cody finish the story. I'm totally fine with the fact that this is a good first challenger for Damian Priest. He's got to start somewhere, and it's not like you want to feed him to Drew right away. So I think that, again, if this were number one contendership for Drew McIntyre's World Heavyweight Championship, not on the same plane. But there's a very clear reset happening here. And while this might have, while 2023 might have been the prelude to the main event Jey Uso push, I think this is going to be the true start and earnest of it.
Yeah, he's going to lose. I mean, so.
Yeah, I know that. But still, it's again, if this were a different world champion, I wouldn't want it either.
So is this going to main event Backlash?
What else do they have here?
And Cody's out there.
Yeah, but we don't know what's set up for him, and we probably won't have any idea of that until Friday.
You think he wrestles on Backlash?
I think I'd need a few more.
He has to, right?
I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to wrestle. They can have him do something, but
after saying we're in a new era and him winning the title and showing up everywhere, I'm going to show up every day, you're going to skip the first PLE after Mania? He can't.
I mean, but by skip, I'm not necessarily saying he won't be there entirely. I'm saying, one, let's get to Friday first and kind of see how
Johnny lives one day at a time. I want my answer now.
The wrestling calendar does not. I need to see what they do with him first, because I mean they're setting up a
cop out answer.
Tough shit.
You want more facts? Who wants more facts? Exactly.
Are you kidding?
I don't have a kitten. No. Why does that matter? What in this situation does a kitten matter?
You know what? No.
I don't understand. Do you have a kitten? What? Did I miss something? Is this a TikTok trend?
Nope.
Is this what the kids are saying, Taco?
I'm stronger than this.
Are you kidding?
So, look, what do you think should have happened in this match?
I don't understand what's going on. Honestly,
what should have happened?
If you need somebody to feed the Damian Priest for the first title defense,
don't say Shinsuke.
I'm not going to say Shinsuke. I'm going to say somebody that was in the match. Put Ricochet in there. Why not? It's a 3-week build to a match that is he's not going to lose. So you've made Ricochet look like a star over the last couple of weeks and kind of highlighting what Ricochet can do. Give him this opportunity to go out there on a PLE where, again, it's only 3 weeks after Mania. You're in a foreign market where you don't really have a French superstar that's going to main event or kind of get that huge pop. Like, why not give Ricochet this opportunity? It's probably not going to main event. Why not give him this opportunity and just say, let's see what can happen? I understand why you want Jey Uso in there, but I would rather see Jey Uso get a couple more big wins under his belt, maybe a feud with Drew, a proper feud with Drew, and let Ricochet go do this. Like, what else is Ricochet going to do?
Yeah, I mean,
it's a foregone conclusion. Damian Priest is going to win.
Yeah, same. Agree? I mean, but yeah, no, I agree. I agree, hands down. I'm not arguing that. I think that for me, what doesn't sit well with me is as much as I love all of the guys in this match, you're saying that you would rather have them put in Ricochet as the first contender on a 3-week build because it's been basically on a 3-week push as opposed to the singles project that they've been trying since September, October, that you're saying that 3 weeks is much more appropriate than what they have tried to do for the better part of months as opposed to weeks. That's just what I disagree
with. What do you
with.
gain from Jey Uso losing to Damian Priest?
This isn't necessarily the worst loss for Jey Uso if he loses to Priest. I don't think, because again, they've at least been trying to establish him in the main event scene for a much longer period than they have Ricochet. That's not to say that Ricochet can't get there. Again, that's why I wanted to make the point about being fine with Jey Uso with this. If this is a Damian Priest contendership that we're looking at more so than Drew McIntyre, none of these guys were going to beat Drew McIntyre, but at least here there's a little bit more realism than you would have gotten.
I just think this might be a stop momentum for Jey. Like, he's coming off the win against Jimmy, which wasn't the best match in the world. Let's be honest.
No, it sucked.
I think you want to get him another big win before he gets into that world heavyweight title picture, which he was nowhere near it to begin with anyway. He was kind of on the same level as Ricochet. And if you want to feed somebody to Damian to get that first win, have it be Ricochet, because Ricochet is not going to get hurt by the loss because he loses all the time. But you want to start building Jey Uso.
I don't think Jay's going to be hurt by this loss. I really don't.
And he might not be, but I don't know how. I don't know if it hurts him, but I don't know how it benefits him from losing.
I mean, it's a world title program away from the bloodline.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to continue after Backlash?
I'm not going to rule it out, no. I mean, at this point, we're assembling challengers for him. This could be a good first feud for him.
Yeah, you could also have, him beat Drew at Backlash and really establish himself because you could play the story about Punk is in Drew's head too much and kind of go down that road and get Jey a huge win where he feels like, oh, okay, they might actually do this. But right now in this moment, I just don't feel like he does. And that's my personal opinion. Johnny Van Frank's personal opinion. I'm not attacking Taco. I do that all the time anyway. It's just my opinion.
That's fair. To each their own, we agree to disagree.
Big Bronson Reed. Please do something with him.
Yeah.
Please. He's way too talented.
I don't know what that is. I mean,
way too talented.
That could be a
Cody.
Final stop for Sammy.
Could be Cody. Give Cody a big kind of first challenger.
Sure.
I mean, and the program with Sammy's there. Real quick, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable next week. What do you think?
Yeah. Sami Zayn all the way. I think this will be a next evolution and step towards that greater heel turn. I think this might be the one that kind of has him thinking about everything. Has he focused too much on everybody else but himself? And has he done that to his detriment? And yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think we're going to have a shocker. I think Chad Gable's going to beat Sammy in his hometown.
You want to put a taco crate on that?
And complete the heel turn by cheating to win.
You want to put a taco crate on that?
Bill, send him the bill. See what I did there?
That'll do it for us on Taco Meat Tuesday of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. As always, hit that QR code in the top left corner. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you know one person.
Comment on the video. Come on, people.
Tully do. What
we want to talk to you guys.
Yeah. I'm a little bummed that Kyle's not here for this one today, or King Chris.
Kyle, Kyle, Bert, and Ernie. Come on now.
Yeah. On that note, Mr. Cincinnati and the podcast dad will be back tomorrow. As always, your taco vibe attracts your taco tribe. Johnny, I will see you next week, best friend.
Maybe.